Absolutely. So right now we do a lot of, I used to do a lot of in-person lectures all the time, business lunch and learns and office lectures in the practice. We transitioned a few months ago to virtual workshops, and they've exploded. I mean, I'm seeing, I don't know, 10 to 20 times the amount of people show up to my virtual workshops, than they did in my personal. So it's working really well, and education is a key for our practice. And a lot of times we're able to educate people about what goes on in our practice before they even come see us, because they're coming to our workshops. And then once they're in our office, we have a 3-day process. The day one is the exam. We sit down with them, go over the history, any range of motion tests or x-rays that we need to do is day one. And I really want to get a picture of, what that person's goals are, where they want to be, why they came in. And then what we do, we have a documentary that we created called A Better Way. I used to do what we call a doctor's report. I don't know if you ever heard of those, but I would be at the office late at night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. sometimes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I was all in at that moment, it was fine. But today, I really don't want to spend all that time away from my kids, right? And so what we use is that movie as my doctor's report, and it works amazingly well. It's very well done. And after day one in the exam, they get a promo code to go watch that movie. And I asked them if they will watch it before their report of findings, which we schedule. And I'm going to ask them some questions about it, right? So then they come back for their report of findings. We go over their x-rays. I ask them if they watched the movie. And they, a lot of times after that, really understand why they would need the care. And we go over their care recommendations and financials on day two. When they start care, if they start care on day two, they may get adjusted on that day, which is usually just the adjustment. But day three is their full day in the office, and where we introduce them to the concept of spinal hygiene and lifetime spinal care. And so in day three, what that might look like is a patient would come in. We have little key cards, so they just come in and scan in. That's how they check in. And then they're showed over to the wobble seat area. So it's what we call our hot seats, where they're doing some spinal exercises to warm up. And when a table opens, they jump on the table, they can get adjusted. Then they're taken over to our corrective care rehab section, where we would do two-way curve traction if they have loss of neck curve, reverse posture exercises on the wall if they have shifts or translations, vibration platform, maybe some either prolordotic neck exercises or head weights. And so those are prescriptive a lot of times, right? So I'm writing that prescription. You need to do a left translational exercise, and he doesn't need to tell his wife to do a left translational exercise because it's his prescription, right? But when they go to check out on day three, they're given what's called a spinal hygiene kit. And in that spinal hygiene kit, there are home exercises that the whole family can do. So these are non-prescriptive exercises that I believe everyone should be doing. And it's just like in dentistry, they teach us how to brush our teeth. Everyone should be brushing. They teach us how to floss. Everyone should be flossing. And because they've built that awareness that you should be taking care of your teeth, kids are getting checked at. I took my 3 boys to the dentist as soon as they had teeth in their mouth. They didn't have a cavity. There was no pain. I didn't think there was an issue. It was that's just what you do. You take your kid to the dentist, have them checked, right, and make sure they grow up with great dental health. And I think it's the responsibility should fall on us as chiropractors to instill that, to teach that, and show that, and say, look, your spine's important. You need to be aware of it. Everyone in the family needs to be taking care of it. We want to get them scheduled for a checkup. And so that's how we transition from, even though our office is what I would call a corrective care office, we also provide lifetime spinal care, and that would be through the form of education and even wellness visits after they finish their initial corrective care plan.